Get Into Geek. This is episode 103. We are talking Stargate SG-1, a bunch of veteran fans introducing a newbie to the show. We'll get to those guys right now. My name's Mitch. Joining me, we got Matty.
Yow.
We got Brendan.
Hello.
Our newbie, Rhys.
G'day, guys.
And he's back again after last week's return. It's Lincoln, our fifth man. Hello, mate.
Oh, mate, it's too much fun to stop. Hello.
This is true. Once you start
Especially Proving Ground. One of the best episodes.
Why wouldn't you?
One of the greats of all time. Jennifer Hailey. I had to come back
Hailey?
for her. I needed more Jennifer Hailey. I want to figure out if she's right or Carter's right. You know what I mean? It's just...
See,
It's,
I had a question here asking if Rhys had softened on Hailey after Prodigy. Obviously not.
Look,
she's still your favourite?
left a bad taste in my mouth, to be honest. And I didn't like it from last episode either.
All right, let's see what the episode's about, and then we'll throw it over to the Rhys and see what he thought about
That's what I
the rest
said.
of the
There's
episode.
the money shot. Are you
there,
God? It's me, Margaret.
Colonel Jack O'Neill and his new SG recruits have become the targets of a secret hostile... of a secret hostile takeovers. That's not me misspeaking.
That's not me. That wasn't me this time.
Become the targets of a secret hostile takeovers. Now it's up to a wounded O'Neill and his neophyte troop to save the command center from a possible alien invasion.
Yeah, neophytes.
Possible.
Rhys, what'd you think of Proving Ground, the return of the one, the only, the annoying Hailey?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest, I didn't hate her as much this time around.
That's all I want.
Still,
You should have seen what they made me do. Shut up.
What's up? We get it.
like when she goes, oh, talking about O'Neill, oh, he's not that bad, you know. I've seen what he does, and then old mate goes, oh, why don't you tell us another time?
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, boy,
Yeah, that's it.
you with us.
What got me before that is she goes, you're wrong. He'll do anything for his team. And then the chick, God. that other chick goes, how do you know? And she says something. And then the guy goes, yeah, tell us again, Hailey, for the 10th time. And then you look back and the chick's smirking as if she heard it a million times. She's like, hang on.
What?
You asked her. I thought exactly the same thing.
Can I just play something for that other chick? Oh, yeah.
No.
It is.
Get rid of that bullshit and play what she's properly known for.
Well,
play the Battlestar Galactic music.
Yeah, look, that's true, but I don't have that on my
ready?
page. Do I, mate? Ready? Grace Park, though. Respect. Hi. Hello. She was the other chick. I don't know.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
name.
What's
What's
that
that
music?
Grace Park, Sharon Valeri from Battlestar Galactica, the reboot.
Again, I don't.
She's like the most important character in that show.
Again, I saw the first season, and
She was pretty important in that.
I know, but I watched it 12 years ago.
Spoiler alert.
I've since seen her in Hawaii Five-0, and she's gorgeous.
Yeah, but she's left now over a pay dispute. Her and Daniel Day-Kim.
Yeah.
Is that a show? Jesus.
Pay dispute.
Hey, dispute.
Great show.
Good show.
Love to hear the synopsis on that.
Old Grogan, the other guy.
Poor Grogan.
Grogan.
What a name.
What unfortunate.
I don't know if
Big
it's the
turd.
same internationally, but Grogan in Australia is a big number 2
Big
in
turd.
your toilet. A
Since
poo.
when?
Yeah, the poor bastard.
Oh, you never heard that?
Massive
Oh, yeah,
Grogan.
Grogan.
Really?
Yeah,
Drop a
absolutely.
Grogan. There you know.
Really?
You're half American.
Yeah, that got lost.
No, I'm just civilized. Grogan.
Grogan, yeah.
Oh, I'm civilized.
Taking the high road.
An Obi-Wan over here.
Growing up in a house with my mum and my two older sisters, they all the time walked and went, oh, you should see that massive Grogan I just lifted the toilet.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
Did
fair.
you go to school, though?
Yeah.
That's where we learnt it.
Oh, mate, I was the theatre kid. Come on.
Hello.
Well, you never did a Grogan in theatre.
Oh, on stage. I mean, what?
It's the perfect place to do it.
You got to love O'Neill in this episode. He is good the way he just dresses down.
Mm.
Imagine if he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no chance.
I'd watch Wormhole Extreme over it. Yeah. Probably watch Origins. Oh, Well, three episodes
come
of Origins.
on.
Because it seems
I'd totally be okay with watching an episode just with those 4 people just on a mission.
Mate.
Because you know not all of them are coming back alive.
Yeah, well, that's hopefully true. none of them, with the way they're milking every line that they've got.
If they were Russian,
Yeah,
that'd be right.
Grogan to go and try and hold the door open. Crush.
Oh,
I mean, it was just so annoying because his first line, the lieutenant, whatever his name is,
Elliot.
Yeah, Lieutenant Elliot, he questioned O'Neill's authority immediately. We're not going in with you, sir. He's like, follow orders.
Yeah. I outrank you, do as you're told.
And it's a training
Pretty simple.
exercise. Yeah, and this is for the most elite group of people in the world.
Yeah.
And it's like they've plucked these
past
kids.
the academy.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like they've plucked these kids out
I was
of
fine with that because if you think about
high
it,
school or some shit.
Yeah, right.
That
going-
had never even done anything military-wise. Yeah, he's... Yeah.
no, if you
They went
step
to the
back,
shooting range.
if you step back and think about it, it's like they're being tested. They know, like we don't know at that point that it's a test, but
Yeah, they do.
I said we.
Yeah.
We don't know at that point
Yeah.
it's a test,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
they do.
So why would he question it at all?
Well, what kind of test is it if the test is just for them to stay outside? That's probably, to me, that's why he was questioning it. He was going, well, if this is our test and we're all here to grade the four of us, why is he telling us to stay outside? Why are we not going in with him?
Yeah, but you don't question your superior like that.
Yeah. That
Definitely.
was my
Yes, sir,
point.
no,
you
sir,
don't.
like all that kind of stuff. That's what they're all about.
Especially if you like,
say
this
jump,
is
you
a
say how
training
high.
exercise.
Yeah, but
in particular.
if you're in if I was in a live situation, sure. But
Not if you've just spent 6 years in military school and been drilled into you. Shut
Yeah.
up and do as you're told.
And to get into that would be like elite anyway. So
Yeah.
And this is a test, like, right or wrong, do you question your authority? No. Like, that's tick.
true or false.
well, I wouldn't say he was questioning. He was just confirming his orders because it's
Literally
his-
asked a question.
it's-
Yeah, then O'Neill said follow orders.
and he did. But all I'm saying is it's like it's his test. Okay, if you're at school and you're going for a test and the teacher says you're not taking the test, go and sit in the corner and face the wall, you're going to go...
Sick!
Are you going to go...
Yes.
I forgot to
Throw my pen at the door.
Looks like it's this shit.
Next year, focus.
I forgot
It's been so good this year. That's awesome.
I forgot I was in a room with Karma Boys. I totally forgot.
Hey, respect.
Shout out.
Standing straight and proudly, just shout out loud. Oh, your school's the best, no doubt.
Carl's the name.
I don't even remember it. You left in grade 10.
I wrote the song.
Fair
There
enough.
used to be this thing passed around all the schools with all the local schools from the local area. Actually, all of Brisbane, saying how many students does it take to screw in a light bulb from every single school.
That's right.
And for our school, it was 3 to screw it in and 10 to throw a party that they actually did something right. Like it was unreal. Like it was just about like
Well, speaking of you writing that song, Rhys, I remember, we were, look, we're very talented. Brendan and I were among a number of very talented singers
No doubt.
at the school. And
The
Brendan,
Brotherhood.
and was it Brody? Was it you and Brody? He got up in front of an assembly of some description, whether it was just our grade or the entire school, and you sung Man in the Mirror.
Yeah, that was the whole school.
Right, it's the whole school, and you sing Man in the Mirror,
Michael
and people
Jackson's
come up.
Man in the Mirror.
People come up to you and were like, "Did you write that?"
We're like, oh,
serious?
yeah,
yeah. We said yes. And all the teachers were like,
Of course you did.
I'm like, wow,
stupid.
wow, that's amazing.
Oh,
what
that is
what deep
great.
lyrics?
I was even
like,
doing, gonna make a change.
And they were like,
wow, how did he think of
you
that?
should try to sell that song to Michael Jackson.
What was that backwards dancing thing you created on the spot up there too?
Was it kicking in midair in front of his dick? It was amazing.
Wearing white socks and one glove. Great.
It reminds me of someone. I can't quite put my
Your
finger on
sequin blazer is amazing. It's going to catch on in senior. Yeah.
You, sir, are the ultimate showman.
He even said his hair alight. What was that kid doing in there? That was confusing.
it. He changed colour halfway through the song.
Don't know why he held the baby over the quadrangle, but it was. it was good theatrics. But shit,
A monkey came out. It was it's the greatest show ever.
And your parents paid money for you to go to this school, right?
Yeah.
Not good money.
Not a lot.
I had a free education at a public school, so I'm just...
Yeah, so you don't know what a
gauging.
Grogan is. What kind of education is that? So Proving Ground, great episode.
Oh,
great
yeah,
show.
Yeah. I thought we'd finish talking about it. Was there any... Oh, Entars.
Oh, the Entars are back.
Entars
and we
make
never
comeback.
see them again.
Now, Mitch, you make a good point about the Entars.
Yeah, I was just like, when you're watching the second training exercise, and they're just firing them free will. It's not like they're worried about bloody ammo. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you could do some serious damage with this in the real world. Like, someone like petty
been saying that
criminal
for
gets...
years.
Yeah, just like goes... Just
Good
like,
point, Mitch.
Good point, Mitch. So glad you got credit for that.
It was an original one, too. I like it.
Yeah, really good.
Guys, Mitch is
It's
talking.
my fault. All right, I'm sorry. I'm very
Let's
sorry.
not go back to the episode where we introduced
So
them
what
and
are
I
you
said how
saying,
good
Mitch?
they'd
They
be
should
in the real world.
have used it off-world. That's a good point. Instead of Zats or
It's
something.
a really good point, Mitch.
I don't even listen to the own podcast that I edit.
You just listen for swear words and chuck beats.
Yeah. What was it like this week? I don't know, but we said F 27 times. How many made the cut? Probably 2, but I'll find out about that in 6 months' time when someone emails us complaining.
Oh, that was Brendan.
Yeah, that was twice. I got through twice last in the 100th.
Did you?
I think so, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, I got through once. I think.
Well, Maddie called us.
I say
That was
that.
99.
That was bleep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
was
say
yeah.
that almost every episode. Sometimes it's out loud. Sometimes it's just in my head.
Yeah. We'll say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
mind.
No point sitting there holding onto it. Let loose, mate. That's my motto.
I think the pace this episode too, like what we were like, over 10,
Don't go over it.
but nearly 15 minutes in, and I'm like, I actually felt like just messaging you boys and going, is this all this episode is? Are we
Yep.
just spending an episode just with these guys? Like when they're going into the second thing and they're arguing, they're having the same argument with O'Neill. They thought they were right and he thought they were wrong, and I'm like, I might just skip to next week's episode and just go back to back today because
Yeah.
I don't have time to watch.
I'm
an
never
entire-
watching this episode again.
Really?
Ever.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I was
won't.
driving in going, I wonder whether this is going to make it. This would probably be our bottom 7. Like I can already
Oh,
put this
yeah.
in because it's just
It's definitely
Like-
my number 22 or 1, whatever we're having.
wow. I mean, I don't know the rest,
Better
but
start
No, I can't
spreadsheet
remember
now.
either.
yeah,
But
It's-
I'll put
Look,
it in
I-
the bottom.
Look, I'd put it in the bottom
Really?
of my medium.
In a season that
I
has
reckon it's
in a
enough to make
season
the
that has
medium.
rite of passage, you're going to put this as your number 26.
Possibly.
Oh, it's a big call.
That's ridiculous.
I forgot Rite of Passage was in this season. I thought it was next season.
No, we've already been through it, mate. We did it months ago.
There you go. That's how good it is.
I like this episode. I like all the characters, like the other 4 characters. Like they're all.
There wasn't much
They
to
were
them though.
fine.
I don't.
No, it's
No.
pretty
They
boring.
weren't they weren't distinctively different. They were sort of just all. I don't know. I felt anyway. Just
Oh, well,
rookies
you
and
could
timid.
clearly see that it's like Hailey was a Carter clone. Satterfield was a Jackson clone. That's why she had a crush on him as well because
Yeah.
she was into all that. I thought Elliot was quite good. Like Carter makes the good point that it's like, well, there was a flaw in the scenario that they given in, and he either consciously or subconsciously had picked up on that flaw because he's an overthinker. And I guess I can relate to that being an overthinker. That sometimes you're
being the
actually
smartest in the room.
sometimes you're 4 or 5 steps ahead of someone in terms of logic, but then you haven't stepped them through those steps to get where you are.
Yeah, look, I think
can-
they did a good job of him picking the thing out, Carter breaking that down, stuff like that. But I think I don't know the way he portrayed that, it just didn't come across that he was that intelligent. It just seemed like he was having a bitch because he didn't
wasn't
succeed.
He wasn't aware of his own
He
intelligence.
could have done more with it, like the actor himself, I reckon, but he just didn't really. They just really tried to milk every single line and try and make a meal
Yeah.
out of it, rather than really kind of.
I think it was a bit of a
having more of a
miscast
character
because I mean
journey.
that actor does have some chops. When we see him in a few weeks' time in Summit and the Last
Yep,
Stand,
yep.
he's got some really powerful scenes.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
He
don't
just comes
know.
down.
It's the military side of things. I don't think he quite had a grasp on yet. And I know in an interview with Amanda Tapping, she does actually say it's like she was really on them on the episode because it's like she spent the last 5 years getting all this military training and all that kind of stuff, knowing things. And none of these 4 actors knew anything about how to, flag your finger on on the rifle and all these other bits and pieces. And
When they're carrying the machine guns through the training thing at the very start of the
That was
episode.
terrible, wasn't it?
yeah,
Oh my
And
god.
even-
Down on the,
and even that
it's like
part,
a video game.
Threw the barrel
Yeah.
down,
yeah.
Hey?
and she threw the barrel down. Well, that was the second one, I think.
Pretty much shooting from the hip when they're running through,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
not even holding it up. I was like,
And then
oh,
there's a
good.
point when they're in the base and it's like Carter walks across in front of him and he doesn't even like lower his weapon to like not accidentally shoot her, like which is just that's a military thing. It's like friendly fire. You don't want to have that. And so yeah, I think it was just a lot because they're supposed to be the best of the best. They're like
Yeah.
these
That's why I had a problem with that first line that so much. Because he's like, we're not coming in with you. And it's like, you're supposed to be the best.
You're supposed to know what you're doing pretty much, and this is the last hurdle.
Oh, yeah,
to
and
get
the
into
other one
the
was like,
SEC.
so what information do you know, sir? And he's like, as much as you do. That's it. I gave you the briefing probably before we
But
started.
that's because he's an overthinker. He's just hungry for information.
Yeah.
O'Neill is more a reactionary. It's like something happens and he just reacts.
Yeah.
Whereas Elliot is a thinker. He wants
Yeah.
more information that he can't.
Go get a
he's
calculator, mate.
craving
Sit down.
information.
He's not a leader then, is he? He's like he's a Jackson.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
put him as a leader in a team then. You'd put him as a the
As an
backup.
archaeologist.
Yeah,
He was
as an archaeologist or a
He
Carter.
was literally the leader of the team.
Yeah,
Like he was
terrible
the leader
leader.
of that team.
I know,
So
but why would
They
you?
all died 3 times.
That's what I'm saying.
Even he died at the end from fake radiation.
You're all dead. Congratulations, you're in.
It's like you didn't follow orders. You're in. It's like, what?
That was a crack up when he's like, I put the lives of my team. Okay, where's your other mate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
He's supposed to be here.
Shit.
I failed and he died.
I love all the special effects they had, all the fireworks and stuff. Like the bomb blew up,
Yeah.
actually blew up, and then I think the second or third one, he hits that button and all the cars start burning on fire.
Yeah.
And then the smoke comes up. Go! I'm like,
Yeah.
is that real? Would that actually happen?
Nah, that's just TV budget. That's just they're just doing a production.
Read
They
my
just
lips.
want something Bigger. So, Rhys, when did you figure it out that the foothold situation was fake? Like that it was actually
When they
a training
looked at
exercise
Tilk
as well?
through the crack in the door and he's in the hallway and he goes, Daniel Jackson, I've caught bloody Hammond.
and he's expositioning.
Yeah. As soon as that happened, I'm like, this is not real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty straightforward. That wouldn't happen. If anyone's going to get taken over, I'm thinking, well, he's either got taken over by a Goa'uld, and which he wouldn't, because he's got a symbiote
Teal'c,
anyway.
yeah.
And even if Daniel Jackson had, Teal'c wouldn't be following orders from him. So yeah, it just
Yeah, and
didn't
then
make sense,
that
but-
kind of where they said Hailey or whatever, or the other Asian girl, I can't remember her name.
Satterfield.
Satterfield.
Don't say Asian, mate.
Yeah, I was just for the room, basically.
See that thing in front of you that you're talking into? That's
Yeah.
recording what you're saying.
Yeah, but that guy edits it.
So, magic.
I mean, I'm happy for it to go through.
don't care.
But she said that we didn't think Carter was in on it because she'd been taken over by a Toker and had the protein, whereas Tilk would have that similar protein or a similar aversion to any of the nanites or whatever.
and as if Tilk would follow orders from Jackson.
No,
Yeah,
not
right.
necessarily, because Carter's protein marker allows her to be able to use a wrist, like a hand device.
Ooh, wristy.
But wristy. But as far as we know, Tilk can't operate a wrist hand device. I'm saying wrist
Yeah, 'cause
device.
He can
his
operate
hands
the
are
other
too
one.
big.
He can
We've
operate
been through this.
Yeah,
They can't fit his hands.
but then like they can both detect Goa'ulds
Yeah,
and they can.
it's just whatever the plot
yeah,
needs it to be, really.
yeah.
The thing for me, the dead giveaway for me was when it started feeling a video game, when they're in Carter's lab and O'Neill hands over his swipe card and he's like, "This will get you anywhere in the base." And it's like when you're playing a video game and it's like they give you that MacGuffin
The
thing.
oh yeah.
Get you
You need
out
to
and
work
then
up
it's
to the
like-
key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to get to that point to get to the next level, and it's just
Yeah.
like that's when it started feeling like a video game to me.
Take corridor C90 or whatever.
But even through the takeover, like, Tilk's still just the muscle. Like,
Yeah.
second in charge, but just still muscle. I've caught Hammond. I'll go catch Carter now.
Yeah.
Poor bugger.
I tell you what though, Grace Park was really like living the "I've got a crush on Michael Shanks" thing. Did you notice?
Oh, mate.
Right at the end,
Right.
when she goes to drag him in,
Crutch face.
she basically straddles his face.
Yeah.
So
Like
good.
it's like, no, I'm covering him. It's like you're right next to a big giant glass window
Yeah.
that you've just strapped some C4 to,
Yeah.
and you're basically protecting his face with your
It leaves.
face.
Tilk, though.
That's what I was about to say. They left Tilk in the room.
Yeah.
When they put that C4 down, I'm like, that is overkill.
Yeah, right.
Like, Jesus
Shoot it.
Christ.
Yeah. And it's like,
So from now on, we'll call that chick Zales.
we'll call her Zale.
Yeah.
She would have had enough time to actually like drag Daniel all the way out of Hammond's office,
Yeah.
but it's like she dragged him like 2 feet and then sat on his face.
God, yeah.
I mean,
She couldn't help herself.
if quick, he's asleep.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think there might be a subtle hint to the fact that Michael Shanks still hasn't gotten over Kira/Linnea, who he banged. Remember he banged when she got young? Well, when Satterfield and that go into his office and she's like all like fangirling over all the artifacts and stuff like that, the prison bowl that Linnea used to catch the goop out of the thing,
The slop.
that's on his desk. That prop is on his desk. It was probably unintentional, but it just the fact that he banged her just like
Yeah.
ties into that he's just he's got like a
Trophies.
he's got a trophy. So he's got his picture of Sharae. He's got his bowl from Linnea. He's got a tree just sitting there from that
Probably
chick
from
who-
someone
chick who
else
liked
that he
trees
porked.
from
Yeah.
Need. The chick from Need who's like, we call them trees. He's like a pine cone sitting there for her
A bone piercing
don't-
from the
from the
Cave
cave
woman.
girl.
Don't you think though? Like they're going through the whole SGC, shit's going crazy. They're like, this is life or death as far as they're aware. She goes into his room, into his office, and she starts just grabbing shit, and she's like mesmerized,
Like a wooden crocodile kazoo.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god.
And they're like, and they say her name, so let's just call her Zales from now on. So like Zales, and she's just like, huh? What? Oh, yeah, right.
Not a tourist out of field.
Yeah, we're not in. Yeah.
That was the best thing Grogan ever said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Grogan.
Oh, you poor piece of shit.
My favorite line from the episode was this one, and actually my favorite moment.
Hello. Have fun, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did tell them to take me prisoner this time and not shoot me, right? Right?
Slowly puts the phone down.
And what Daniel says here, you ready?
Hello.
Hello.
I love that music.
Yeah.
That is from that music's from what's the name? They keep going back in time. The time loop one.
yeah.
That music there.
Yeah, that little lighthearted
so
little
prone.
flute.
Dun, dun, dun,
But that's
And Tilk's
like
looking through that little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Just killing time.
But like like Mitch said seasons ago, where it's like he says
What
indeed.
is this?
Like how Mitch said seasons ago, it's like in his real life, it's like he says indeed the way Tilk says indeed. That's just the way he said it. For years now, I've realized I've actually like hello. I do that all the time. Like when you answer a phone, it's like hello.
Yeah, wasn't that in a cartoon or something?
Toy Story.
Toy Story, yeah.
Hello.
Woody says it all the time.
Yeah.
Hello.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that. You don't remember that bit?
You just screamed and just went, shit. I mean, I'm sure I do. I just can't picture what you're thinking.
Hey, do you remember that awesome movie where the guy goes, "Blah!" Oh, that pivotal scene. So quotable. Ah!
Wow, Maddie's throwing zingers. Shit. Wow.
Can we get to the end of the show where we do socials? Link's going to be at link_. Ah!
No, it's at the. Sorry.
At the back.
Shit.
Is this the end of Ron Wilkinson? Because this is he's the
wrote
writer
it.
and show editor in this season, or at least this half of the season.
Let me have
Because he gets SACKED.
Saked.
Yeah. Sack Ed.
Sackhead.
You get sacked.
Of all the things
Which I
you
believe
say
is an
on this
old
show,
wooden
and you spell sacked.
Saked. He's still naked
I
with
thought
an
that'd
S.
be good. My
CK.
first note for this episode was boring, and then 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, so boring. Like it's
So I've got
so
more boring.
dull.
No,
In your opinion, it got more boring.
He
Got
got-
more boring.
Wow, I thought it was
Like-
boring to begin with.
Like I thought,
If only Brennan from 20 minutes ago was with me right now.
this writer, like he's pretty good. Like I thought it was boring, but he really upped the boringness. Amazing.
That's hard to do.
That's like it's hard to be that shit. Like he's really good at being shit.
Meanwhile,
Progressively shitter.
across town, Maddie writes at the start, not bad. 20 minutes later, not
fine.
bad at all.
One of the faves.
Well, he did write
Would
Red.
watch again. 5 out of 11.
He did write Red Sky and Between Two Fires.
Yeah.
He goes on to write The
I
Sentinel.
thought you were going to say he went on to write in the series on YouTube Between Two
No.
Ferns. And I was like, whoa, I've underestimated this
Yeah,
bloke.
good
He
on him.
does go on to write The Sentinel, which I would argue is the most boring episode of the season.
That has Grogan in it as well.
Yeah, it's a Grogan
Oh,
episode.
dear God.
Sight Unseen, Inauguration, Covenant, and Bounty. So he's writing all the way up to season 10.
He's writing all the shit ones.
So they gave him the Cooper approach. We'll give you 10.
season 10.
He's probably Cooper's mate. That's how he got the job.
Something I did
Yeah.
notice, though, is he did write for Star Trek. He did Voyager and Next Generation.
Ugh.
He actually wrote. We had the story credit for the episode Lower Decks, which is basically what this episode of
what?
Stargate is based on.
Right.
There's an episode of Next Generation called Lower Decks where it's all about the people who aren't the main characters. It's all the no-name underlings.
Yeah.
The
No one
really
cares,
low-down
mate.
People.
Yeah.
So he's doing
He's
a
got a running
Catherine.
theme,
He's
yeah.
doing a
There's a
Catherine
reason they're
Powers,
not
and he's
front of
recycling
screen.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that aspect. And
Except Catherine Powers had like heaps of good shit she'd recycle and just gave us more good shit.
so you're saying Emancipation's better than this?
Hey?
That's what you just said.
No, I did not.
It's hard to
That's what-
compare
that's what you
Grogan's.
just said. Because Catherine Powers wrote a really bad episode for Next Generation and then recycled it and turned it into Emancipation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's the worst episode of the series.
Well, no, he just said that it was better than what Ron Wilkerson
No,
did.
he didn't. He said
I was talking
Catherine
about, I
Powers
was
is a
talking
better
about the
writer.
Stargate stuff she recycled. So my first taste
Yeah, that
of
she
Catherine
recycled
Powers was
from-
Emancipation.
Yeah, which she recycled from Next
Yeah,
Generation.
but I don't know that.
Maddie,
That's my first taste.
wants us to jump on board Star Trek that bad. He's trying to misquote you.
No, it's not.
Take all your words out of context and
it's
try
not,
to make
it's
you.
not out of context, and it's not about Star Trek. It's
Mitch
about
said-
Emancipation.
Mitch was saying that Catherine Powers is a better writer. That's all he's saying.
No, we were talking about how
No, I was here. I heard.
Ron Wilkerson is Ron
Mitch,
Wilkerson.
am I right or not?
Ron
If it
Wil-
makes you feel any better, I wasn't listening.
Maddie's cracked the shits. He's gone. He's done. Don't f***ing talk about Star Trek, mate. Bring this on yourself.
Can we get to that's one?
Oh, no, I'm not
gotta be
daring.
two.
I'm not daring.
Oh, that's
pressing that
three. I'm
button.
done.
Press that button.
Oh, he's pushed the mic. Jesus Christ.
So this
Need some
one,
milk water, mate.
All right, so I want to find out who's the most annoying out of all four of those characters.
Yeah, well, I thought Hailey had it sewn up after the last one.
Oh
Yeah.
I'm late for a class, ma'am.
But if she wasn't in on it, like I reckon she wouldn't have been as cool as she was this episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she was in on the whole training day thing.
Yeah, well, even when like O'Neill, they walk away and O'Neill gets on his phone, she was the one that had to shut them up to be like, "Oh, something's going on." And they were like, "Oh, what?" And then that's when he sort of gets into the pretend gunfight with everyone else. And he I love that moment where he switches out the Intar rounds for like a real round.
Yeah.
And he does it so and he just does it without milk. Like he doesn't milk anything. He just takes it out. He's looking away and just does it. And he's like, okay, puts it in the pocket, walks over to him, and, you're
And
like,
he doesn't say-
"You're so fucking cool."
That's what I love because he didn't say anything to them. He just looked at him.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
all right, you know what's gone down here. So they're like, shit.
Yeah, and then but she had to shut them up because they were all talking to each other, and then But you're right. That made her cooler.
Yeah.
She had that little
There's a little nitpick there that I didn't like was when old Lieutenant Elliot said, "Oh, put your NTARs on full."
Yeah.
And then later on, Carter said to O'Neill, "Oh, you ordered them to put on full." And I'm like, well, he didn't. Elliot ordered them to. There's my little nitpick for this.
Those are our guys. Just do it, Grogan.
Yeah. Stop questioning me.
Shut up,
They
Grogan.
all question each other.
Totally.
Chill out.
Well, the nitpick I had about was in the second training run, and O'Neill was like, the gate closes in 12 minutes. And I'm like, what is this, sliders? Just redial.
Yeah. Totally.
Fuck, just go over and just dial again.
yeah,
You know the address.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
You know
it's,
what the number
it's
is.
free call.
I promise
you
I
don't
won't
have to
be
call
engaged.
1-800 TARE or anything.
Oh, shit. Hey, can you send a wormhole back this way?
We used to receive a collect call from P3X972.
Grogan! Nah, close the iris.
Boom, boom.
Like the bug zapper thing. When they hit the fucking iris.
Ah, the Serenity.
Oh, Jesus. What's that movie where they... not the movie, the episode where they go... basically the Nazi race. They're all clones and they're...
Oh,
you know the
yeah.
one I'm talking about? Yeah, with that dude at the end. He's like, yeah, I'll give you anything you want. Just bring me with you. And then he closes the iris.
Oh, yeah.
And then you hear this... And you're like, oh, you poor bastard. Like, I don't feel sorry for you, but...
Yeah.
Freedom!
Yeah. At least he went out on a high. He didn't know he
Went
got
down
irised.
And I mean, if he was in Stargate Origins, he would have been able to see it coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hang on, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
She sees the stars in the wormhole.
stars?
Yeah.
Oh my god, did you see that with these stars?
They travel through
Isn't that'd be funny too?
Lincoln's so confused.
No!
Were they stars?
As soon as he steps into the wormhole, he's dead.
All right, now there's episodes where they literally do. I don't know if it's
the
an
movie.
episode
It's the movie.
where they literally watch them and they go
Yeah,
through
that's the
puddle
movie.
far
Yeah,
out.
the very first time they go through the Stargate.
Yeah, Daniel
ever.
Jackson's face gets demolecularized.
No, there's a one where it's as if the camera is looking at you.
Yeah, it has the split
it's
screen,
walking
like-
walking backwards. It's right in front of you,
Yeah.
and then it goes through the puddle first. But it basically there's no time lapse. It's just there's no break. You just
Yeah,
go
well,
straight
and then
through,
there's
and then
the
you see
one
the person step straight through.
where
so
O'Neill-
there
Oh, yeah.
wasn't even a second.
O'Neill was
Yeah.
pretended to get fired so that he could go
That's
hook up
right.
with the NID, and it was a
Yeah,
side
that's it.
shot. and you saw him walk through our gate or whatever instantly into another one.
Yeah, well, that was the side on. I'm
Yeah.
talking front on.
Which does sort of, screw around with the whole, the actual wormhole shot.
So these dicks have made something where you're like actually conscious.
You're dematerialized and traveling faster than the
Maddie,
speed of
not
light
on the
through a
mic.
man-made wormhole, and
Like, why?
your eyes still work.
Yeah, I know. It's like, and it'd be different. It's irritating.
Wrote that.
We don't know.
Yeah,
Guys,
I wrote it down. I still don't know.
They went dark.
They went real dark.
yeah. They got him straight out of high school. Who was that guy that Hammond was talking to in the room? Was that he was from the training?
I must say, George.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was from the academy.
I'll bet you.
Yeah, he was the bloke that was telling, Carter. Yeah, you're right. He was. And it's just
That's right, yeah.
if I was Hammond, I'd be like, mate, why'd you send me the shit crew? Like,
right?
these
This
aren't
is the best you've got, seriously?
It's between
Yeah.
these dicks and the dude that was sitting next to Jennifer Hailey that every time Carter answered a question, he looks at her like he's the little minion of the bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, she
Minion of
can't
the bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just
Kinda.
like, as if she knows what she's talking about. Like, clearly we do. And she's not even dressing right. Oh, fuck off. Like, he was such a dick. So it's like between him and these tards, it's like, who are you going to pick? Fucking shit academy, that's what.
You're definitely going to SG11.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's what I was waiting for when he goes, "You're on SG17." I'm like, "Oh, why couldn't it be 11?"
And that would have been good because I think that's
It would have
actually-
been actually really
It would have
good.
been brilliant. Like it would have saved the episode. But for me, actually, that's
You don't
actually
even
what I
know
did.
how good it would have been.
Yeah, that's what I would have liked with, or that's what I did like about this episode was just that little bit of extra world building with. Well, how do people get selected and all that sort of shit? Because these guys, like O'Neill says to them after the first training session at the start, he's like, after all this, he's like, either you make an SG team or you go back into accounts or something. It's like, you're obviously in the inner circle now because you know there's fucking aliens. You know we're at war. There's a Stargate, a thing like this giant
We
secret.
vortex you.
You are in, right? Yeah. we wait for someone to dial us
your
and we
last
chuck
test.
you.
Walk
We
back
send you
through
to that
wormhole.
planet where we send all of our shit.
Yeah.
Idiot! You can't go back through an open
Yo,
wormhole.
Grogan, you go on the poo planet. All right?
Survive there for 3 months
You're
and
going to be
we'll
captain
maybe
of the
think
poo
about
planet.
it.
But that's what I was waiting. I'm like, okay, so what is it? And he goes, you either make an SG team or you don't. And I'm like, okay, but then what? Do they go back and work at Blockbuster?
Yeah.
And they're sitting there going, oh man, I know so many secrets. Like what? Like, okay, they go back into their old military ranks, but I'm like, then they're going to know more than a lot of their superiors know. Like it's...
Yeah.
Once they're in, they've got to be in. Like they've surely then got to be like the janitor in level 10 or
that's how
something.
Walter
Like
started.
Right?
yeah, just failed every test. But yeah, I don't know. I just like that extra little bit of lay, and the fact that SG1 were helping. And like when we asked you before, when did you know that the foothold situation was a fake? For me, I was like, well, I think that's where this episode's obviously going. Like as soon as O'Neill shoots people and stuff, but it's like, well, maybe not. I don't know. But when they first show that what would otherwise be a stock piece of footage of the front of Cheyenne Mountain, and you just see all these soldiers running out, carrying all their guns, and they're gonna drop into the back stairs and the ladder, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is an expensive
Training.
exercise
Yeah.
when you've got the whole base. Like, what do they do? Do they go, SG6 and SG 12 and 16? Well, they're not due back today. Well, we've actually got a free day. There's Walter. No one's dialing in, sir. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it today. Like, what happens then if they tell everyone, don't dial back on this day?
Yeah, you'll ruin the surprise.
And then SG 12 are literally being shot at and they're trying to dial back. And they're like, we're getting an engaged signal. It's like, you can't come back in, mate. We're doing theatre sports here.
And then he says, oh, this happens every few months.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah.
like we've
It must
never
be
seen this
hard
before.
closing down these levels for every couple of months. Like,
Literally, yeah.
why would they?
What was that? Yeah, what was that point? Sorry, where he goes, you almost blew it. They're under attack and all that kind of stuff. But you sort of go, don't put anyone out when you're running in scenario.
Yeah.
Keep everyone in. Go. You know what? You got a week's leave. Chill out. We don't need to go shoot these people. We don't need to go find some ship that we need to because O'Neill gave the other one to those dickheads from Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to chill out.
Yeah, you could have hired the Extreme guys
It's all
to come and
good.
go, hey, you know what? We've given O'Neill, he's your military advisor. Why don't you come and get some real-world experience, and we're going to do some theatre sports in one of our bases. Little do they know, they're actually training people to go and do real-life shit, what they pretend to do on the TV show. You would have had was it Michael DeLuise? His character would have showed up for sure.
Oh yeah,
Thinking
it would have
everything-
been epic.
Yeah, he would have been.
Shush.
Hush, please.
Actually, I just want to know, since we said the poo dimension for Grogan, I just want to know, like, this is
It's not a dimension, bro.
Shit! God damn it, Freudian slip. Okay, yeah, okay.
It's an alternate timeline.
The gate world. Yeah, don't get started. We were talking to Matthew Riley, and he mentioned an alternate timeline. I was like, oh, god damn. Well, I was going to ask him the question, but I thought, I better not. He hasn't got
He wouldn't know.
But he would know.
You bite your tongue.
Has he watched Stargate?
But I was wondering, like, this is kind of, it's irresponsible, but I thought, if there's a gold planet that's really pissing you off, but you know it's their home world, so you can't really go there and do shit, wouldn't you be like, you would, honestly, you just turn on the iris and you just go chuck a piss through it, honestly go chuck your shit, or you get all the rubbish from the day, you start throwing crap through the...
what I'm saying,
Just
man.
start throwing shit at them and
You're
just
saving the planet.
Yeah.
They're not going to know who it's from.
They're not,
No.
like... You know, like, there's so much shit you would do. It's
like ordering a pizza.
pissing you off.
To
Or
people
when-
that you hate.
Yeah. Or when people like when
Before internet.
when
obviously.
SG1
Is that why I kept getting pizzas delivered to me?
Yeah,
And
but
I
you
never
don't-
paid for them.
they're vegetarian pizzas. Like not even any good ones.
Barbecue sauce vegetarian.
Oh Jesus. But yeah, even when SG1 comes back from a mission and they just have all the rubbish sitting there, you can't go back through the wormhole because you get disintegrated. So just chuck them all in.
It ceases to exist.
Yep.
Happy to... Yep, happy
Easy.
days. Good to go.
Easy. It's figuring out the world's problems one day at a time.
See, all this plastic ending up in the oceans, chuck it straight through to Poffers.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Straight to hell.
I had a question come up on Reddit where it
Right.
said, if you wanted to evacuate a planet, what would be the best way to do it? So you've got...
Is this about Stargate?
No. Something sliders, obviously.
I'm
You got
like,
12 minutes.
Real world?
And-
Or is this... You got 12 minutes. Cars are on fire. Go.
Standard situation for the end of the world.
3 cars on fire. What are you going to do?
But the thing I was thinking, it'd probably be best to dial out, lay the Stargate flat, and then just get people running from all directions, just jumping through.
You get to the other side, there's like so many broken bones.
yeah.
Everyone's
They'd start piling up and going back into the,
Yeah,
into the
right?
horizon.
So you'd have to almost get a crane,
So
which
you'd
is
wanna be
6
the
foot off
person-
the ground, and just rotate the other one so they just all keep dropping through.
Wow.
6 feet. You couldn't be 1 foot.
Again,
No,
you only
they
got
get
12 minutes to
decapitated.
save the world.
You got to fall at least 6 feet. You're told duck when you get there, by the way.
You're tall. How tall are you? Yeah, you'll be dead when you get there. Nothing.
Yeah, I haven't checked if anyone liked my reply, but that was my thought.
How many people do you reckon, with a 38-minute window, everyone's charging as fast as they could run, how many people do you reckon you could get through an active Stargate, an active wormhole?
Yeah.
Would have to be, 4 people, 5 people across?
But then they'd barge over and run, and if it's a panic and they're actually evacuating,
like full World War Z style,
Yeah.
people just legging it.
Yeah.
that's why I think it'd be better just to lay it down and just run.
Throw people in.
Yeah, like
But if you're jumping
And then
in, you're
people
coming out the other side
Well,
with
it's
your
like-
laying flat and land on your back.
How many people can you run through like a garage door, as opposed to how many people you can jump into a pool at the same time?
Yeah, but
Well-
it's like jumping into an empty pool, though. You're not gonna, it's
Yeah.
not going to be
Yeah,
pretty on the other
there's
side.
People are going to...
No, I know, but at least you'll survive.
Unless you're in the jumping castle world. Like,
Unless you're on the
Like-
bottom. Unless you're the first one through, and then it just
you
stacks
aim-
on.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. You got the crane moving around at the other end.
Yeah.
It's
If
like-
your aim is to get people through the gate, yeah, mission
Unless
accomplished.
it's a
But if-
water
if the
planet,
aim is to get them
when the-
through safely?
The Russian,
No, definitely
the
not.
Russian laddie.
Like send someone.
That Watergate. Unless it's the planet from Watergate, you would.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but you still pile up
Through
in
an
there and
ocean.
everyone- Yeah.
Into the
You
ocean.
just start swimming.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they'd all drown.
Or,
Yeah.
Just make
Or
sure you
just
send
put
someone
parachutes on them all.
experienced through, because you get a first timer that goes through first. They come out, they're like, "Wow, what a trip!" You know, they got ice on them, you know, because that still happens. And
see the stars?
Wow, what was this? Oh my god! And then just all of a sudden, there's like 20 people just like stacks on.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah, you want
You don't-
someone to run
yeah.
in and just keep running when they get out. You know,
Yeah.
You'd have to have it on the back of a truck or something, maybe, at the other end.
pouring them.
Or
So,
just
yeah, they just,
or just like a
the truck's
steep
driving
hill.
around, they're just falling from the top of the Stargate onto the bottom of the truck and just falling off.
Such a
about a,
complex idea.
Like the big inflatable
have to get as
sleds
many
for when
as
you
possible.
Evacuate a plane.
Yeah, yeah, like a
So
big.
you, so you have like evacuate plane sled going into the Stargate, and on the back end you have another evacuating No, because then they're just going to pile from the
No,
bottom
but
of that
you know,
one as
no,
well,
that
aren't
doesn't.
they?
Now, you know what'd be good? No, you're onto something. You know what'd be good? The fucking slip and slides when you're kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
With
Totally.
dishwashing detergent, just someone on the other side just hosing it, adding more thing. Like he's just waiting there, and everyone's like, ah! And it's just like, yeah.
Walter's sitting up there in the
Closing it.
control room, just holding the hose.
From this side of the gate.
He's acting a lifeguard. He's sitting on like a tall chair. He's like, go. Wait for him to finish. Okay, you can go.
Go.
He's got a whistle for no reason.
He's wearing a lifeguard shirt.
Yeah, lifeguard shirt. He'd be the type that
Yeah.
would wear zinc under his eyes too, like just to be safe, you know.
Oh,
Combat cardigan and boardies.
who
Oh,
Groganed
yes.
in the Stargate?
Subscription
Grogan,
goggles.
sir. Oh, okay.
We got an aquaturd.
It's a floater. It's a floater.
Great question.
Yeah, I got no trivia because it's just who's the shittest.
All right,
It's like all of them.
you know what?
Correct.
Yeah. Hey, Rhys, have you been paying attention on this one?
More or less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Give you a pass.
All right. Winner. I needed that. My self-esteem.
Good man. All right, that is episode 103 of Get Into Geek, talking Proving Ground, season 5, episode 13 of Stargate SG-1. We will be back next week to talk about episode 14 of this season, 48 hours. Until then, you can check out all of our old podcasts on our podcasting channel. Search Get Into Gate, a Stargate podcast. Hit us up on the socials. Follow, like, subscribe, all that sort of jazz on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or drop us a long form email or maybe even a voicemail. Hit us up, send it through, getintogate@gmail.com.
And look, if you're a big fan of Get Into Gate, you'll be proving ground by jumping onto Patreon.
Oh, hello.
Wedged it in there.
Get in amongst it.
Thought it was impossible.
You'll be
I like you
proving
did, yeah. You like just the sentence structure this week was different. The way that you integrated it in, and
Yeah.
And I approve.
I can barely talk
waiting
this
for
week.
it to find out whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah, well, you know, usually it's like it's
He won't.
Yeah, usually I'll just crowbar it in. And just,
you know,
That'll
some
do.
weeks it's an adjective, other weeks it's a verb. It's like,
Yeah.
what's he going to do? I love it.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
I love
proving
Try
ground,
and
jump onto
make
Patreon.
yeah, you know, you could have went lazy, but you didn't.
I'll try and make it a noun next week.
And just
If I
to be
knew what that was.
pronoun. Well, don't confuse me.
I'll
Stop.
make it a synonym.
Is that a professional noun?
Carmel strikes again.
Oh, yay!
Calm
Mate,
the
our
name.
English teachers were too hot to listen
Yeah.
to. You know.
Shout out to Thornlands.
Not mine.
Yeah, respect. And very big and happy and Merry Christmas to every one of you out there for this coming week and this festive
Jews.
season that we're in. Sure, let's get religious, but for those who celebrate it and those who don't, forget everything I just said. But you know, like what we say on this podcast, yay Christianity.
Good one,
We
Rich.
celebrate the good stuff.
And Judaism and Islam and
that's
all the
Hanukkah,
rest.
buddy.
All that sort of stuff. You know, my kid goes to a Christian school. He comes home, he goes, you know what Christmas is all about? And I'm like, yeah, man, Santa and family and just eating heaps of
Die
food.
Hard.
He's like, Die Hard, watching on Christmas Eve, yeah. You know? And he's like,
And
yeah,
ham.
and it's Jesus' birthday. And I'm like,
Is it?
that too, yes.
No, it's not. It's in September. I tricked you.
I got told that when I was in grade 1, actually. And I'm like, well, what am I? You're conflicting me already. Like, what the hell's going on here? This is strange. Anyway, have a good Christmas. Have a good gate. We'll see you back next week for our New Year's Eve episode 48.
Just to get you
hours.
ready for New Year's Eve.
Hang on.
So
Are we
New
talking
Year's
about
Eve, New Year's Eve
Stop.
Eve.
Are we talking 48 hours in the final
2 days.
48 hours of the year?
Get Into Geek.